What's up, world? This is your boy, Coach EB, aka EB the Geeker, and welcome to another edition of Talking Hoops in the Sip. That's right, Talking Hoops in the Sip. We are live, late night recap of the Magnolia Classic. And I'm telling you, this is probably arguably one of the most important shows in our short history. This is one of the most important shows in our history. This is one of the ones I encourage you to make sure you share. Tell everybody you know about this show. I'm excited as I can be. I don't know what to do with myself. Tonight we have on our regulars co-host tonight, along with my main man, Gabe Barber from Community Save. Welcome, Gabe. How you doing today?
I'm good, fellas. How y'all doing?
Also, we have from the DC Bucks, their director, Cordarius Jones. What up, Cord?
How you doing, Coach?
And then we also have from Mississippi Play Sports and Mississippi Bobcats, Eddie Young. What's up, Eddie Young?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I see you got two things going on here. I see your other one signed in. They're trying to get you together.
What about now?
Yeah, it looks like you got a brain growing out your head. You got some, like I don't know what that is. Like, oh, okay, that looks better now. Oh, it was a balloon growing out your head. That's what. Oh, that's a balloon. Is that balloon or is that like part of your brain coming out back?
I'm trying to get. Hey, listen, man. I've had a long weekend. I'm trying to get it together, brother.
Okay, cool. I got it. Well, hey, listen. Before we get into the show, remember our show is brought to you by the Tatum Wade Law Firm, located at 124 East Meach Street, right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Tatum and Wade are real lawyers who get real results. I say if you want to get paid, then you need to go to Tatum and Wade. I'm gonna tell you this. This was an incredible weekend. This weekend out at NBA, we had the Magnolia Classic. Shout out to Eddie Young and everything that he does. He brought the state's best, some of the like a lot of it's especially on the girls' side. He brought some of the state's best teams. Magnolia Select, MTP Wilson, Community Save, Cordarius Jones, DC Bucks, and the Mississippi Bobcats. You know, those, you know, are along with the Mississippi Lady Ballers were in the building. And so it was a phenomenal event. I was able to be there Saturday all day. Wasn't able to be there today, Sunday. You know, I had to go and get that time to the Lord and you know, this week and try to get that time to the Lord every day, but especially, you know, today. And I couldn't be in because I had some prior engagement, but I was really, you know, was keeping up with it and excited about today. Give you guys a late night little recap. I think that the Mississippi Bobcats won the, you know, and Eddie will be on the winners. They won the 6th grade, I think, girls, the 7th grade girls, 8th grade girls, 9th grade girls. I think they finished runner up in the 10th grade and finished in the final 4 of the 11th grade. And Community Save, Gabe, you can tell us about Community Save. How did you guys do this weekend?
We brought 3 teams up for this weekend, 8th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade. 11th grade, they ended up winning the championship for their division. 10th grade finished in the final 4. and 8th graders were runner-ups in their division.
Core at DC Bucks, talk to me. How many teams you guys brought up, and then how did you guys do this weekend?
We brought up 6 teams. Everybody played hard. 2024 won their division. 23s came. They made it to the Final Four. I think one of our middle school cheer team, ladies cheer team, made it to the Final Four as well. Everybody competed hard. It was one of the weekends where you missed so many players because Memorial Day weekend and people out of town, injuries. So at that time of the year, kids need a little break and, just had to go out there and compete and just, show the state, that the girls can play and just exposing the talent. You muted, Evie.
Make sure that everybody on my live chat, make sure that you guys are live chatting, jump in and say hello. This is, again, going to be a special show. Please make sure you have your comments, any questions. There's going to be an opportunity for question and answer period on the live chat. And so I know there's a lot going on. I know there's a lot going on in my house tonight. My oldest daughter and family's here with our grandson, Trey. And they're just acting like I don't have a show tonight, and that's okay. They're gonna always say, "Dad, you shouldn't have had a show tonight because we're here," and so my whole family's here. So just to let you know, they're joining in and being a part of us. Eddie's good to have. Like, Eddie, what you on, man? What you done came back looking like a black monk? Like what? What is wrong with you? Like, I mean, are you in the monastery now? Like you look like you just got out of like a monastery. Like what's going on? Okay, here it is. Okay, you back? Can we hear you?
Hey, I'm back, man. I'm struggling, man. I'm gonna use your word. Hey, Cord, what he said, I'm having technical difficulties over here tonight, man.
Hey, tell us a little bit about your, we kind of gave the rundown. Talk to us a little bit about the Bobcats and how they fared this week. And Gabe and Cord have already done that. I kind of gave a little rundown, maybe just in case I missed it.
Well, before I say that, man, I appreciate everybody who was in the event this weekend. I thought it was overall a really good tournament. I'm just happy that we got a chance to see some high-level basketball from all age groups all the way up. Had some really good boys games late in the afternoon. Also, I was able to watch those games thanks to Gabe and Community Save knocking my 23s off the mark. But again, overall really good basketball. Our 6th grade group, 7th grade group, 8th grade group, 9th grade group ended up winning a championship. 10th grade group lost to the championship, and our 11th grade group, which was probably a lot of people after yesterday probably felt like might have been the favorites, ran into a buzzsaw today. And so that's just the way the game goes sometimes. You win some, you lose some, but overall, I think it was good for the state. And I'm just excited about the state of basketball here in Mississippi and where we're going. And more importantly, we just got something so exciting that we couldn't even go to bed tonight because we've got a major announcement, and it's all and everything that we do and everything that we're predicated to. The emphasis is Mississippi, and so Magnolia Classic is the state championship, quote unquote, unofficial state championship. So I think Gabe won 17U, so he can officially say he's the state champion. I may have to get some rings for y'all and start doing some Magnolia Classic rings or something going forward. But overall, great event. And it was always good, man. It's always good to see us in good competition. Rivalry is healthy. A good rivalry is healthy. After the game, when our 10th grade lost to Cordera's 10th grade group in the championship by 1 point, we just shook it up, and there was nothing but love after the game with Rucker and Coach French. I think that group did a tremendous job. They've got some tremendous players. Of course, Jay Rucker, who everybody knows about, the superstar who's receiving offers just about every day. But I'm telling you, if Nadia Norfleet didn't impress me tonight, I've always been high on her. She really, really just was phenomenal today. There were very few players, boys or girls, that I saw today that was as good as Nadia Norfleet, in my opinion. She was special. Kennedy Davis for Gabe played probably one of the, I didn't see her 40-point high school game, but if she played as good as she played in that game, I would have liked to seen it. That girl, oh my God, like we tried everything. We went over the screen. We went under the screen. We went through the screen. Hell, it didn't matter, man. I mean, she was hitting step backs. Hey, Evie, wake up, man. We on the show. Man, hold on, wait a minute, guys. We about to have the biggest announcement that this state has ever had.
I am up. I'm listening. I'm reading something, man. I'm trying to get prepared. You just running your mouth, but go ahead and do what you do.
and so Kennedy Davis, I just want to spotlight from a Mississippi Play Sports perspective, some of the kids that were just impressive to me. Lord, I'm losing the kid name from Magnolia Select. My brother was just like, oh my God. He was talking about her on yesterday. She played well.
Carly Myers, Nicole Sandiford.
Oh, yes. Yeah, both of them. Yeah, from Magnolia Select. They were tremendous.
Man, she played some ball, man. The Nicole number 4. Oh my God. She put on a show against us, in my opinion. She really, really good.
Yeah, they were. And then they've got Magnolia Select has a post player by the name of Hillary Howard, too. She played in my youth basketball league. I coached her when she was like 6th or 7th grade. And she has just been has made major improvements. So she made a drop step move and kissed it off the backboard with the left side. I mean, they're just a high level play. So she is somebody that you definitely want to keep your eyes on. But overall, I think it was a great weekend. There's a lot of good talent. So for me, before I pass it on to y'all, of course, everybody knows Raya Grace, who Mississippi Play Sports #1 player in the state. You can see why she's ranked so high. There's certain parts in the game where she just absolutely just woo you. I mean, she shoots it from 40 feet out with confidence, can get to the rack, tough, tenacious, has a great body. Her best basketball is ahead of her. Demaya Porter, the 6'3" kid from Boca Chica, just every time I watch her play, she just continues to get better. She played extremely well. Layla Carter was Layla Carter. Jakia Clemens was a defensive machine this weekend. She locked up a lot of kids and gave us a lot of toughness and stuff. So Jason Johnson Houston actually had a really good game against y'all, Gabe. At one point, coach was hollering, man, can anybody guard this kid? She was just rebounding and putbacks, and she just run the floor well and do a lot of good things. So it's good. It was good to have her back from her injury. So, but other than that, man, I think overall the event was good. It was well attended. We had tons of people there this weekend. Hey, you gonna be all right, man? You all right? I'm worried about him, Gabe.
I don't know why you're worried about me. I'm just waiting to you patient. I'm trying to be patient, and I know it's tough for you to be like that, but I'm just trying to be that and listen to you share with about the players. So I was going to share my little input about players as well.
Yes, sir. And
let me introduce a friend here. Here, let me put my daughter's. This is my daughter's child. My daughter Mary. This is Milo. And Milo, he is getting nervous because he sees an elephant and he's never seen an elephant before. And like he's panicking and he sees Eddie on the screen and he's trying to get off of me and get back to his owner. But this is Milo, and I just wanted to introduce Milo to the world here. Well, say Milo, hello, and thanks for being on the Geeker and Talking Hoops in the Sip Show. Milo, we're gonna give him back to his mama. But anyway, we have all type of things. We have pets. I mean, Eddie's on the show while Why can't we have more animals on the show? I mean, it's just like
Listen, you big grizzly bear, why that dog got out of your arms? I do want to say one more player, and I'm gonna shut up because I would be remiss if I didn't mention her. Malia McSellis, the 7th grade 2027 kid, hit 40 points. Gabe, did you realize that little Malia had 40 points in our 7th grade championship game today, Corey? She hit 40, man. So that kid is just, she's unbelievable. Like, she's arguably one of the top kids in the state, top whatever. You know, she can play with anybody in the state. I mean, she's just a scoring machine. And so you don't see that much in a middle school game, let alone AAU in a championship game against good competition. So she played the team, is it SINA, team SINA, which has some really good players too. So, but Malia McSellis, remember that name. She's a special kid.
Hey, Eddie, let me ask you this. Who won your 17 boys championship?
17 boys championship. I think SSA lost to, who did SSA lose to? I'll give it to you in a second, man.
Tuscaloosa or
Was the
SSA beat Mom?
SSA got, I want to say SSA beat Mom and lost to him. I'll go back and take a look at it and let you know here in a second. We've been running and talking about other good stuff. I hadn't even had time to do a recap on a lot of the stuff today. So,
well, to we don't want to. I was gonna delay, like talk about this here shortly, this announcement. But now that we have the illustrious head coach from Louisiana Monroe on, Coach Brooks Williams, I think go ahead and expedite our conversation here. Coach Williams, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me on.
That's awesome. The last time I saw you probably wasn't a good time for you. I was at that time, I was the assistant coach at Mississippi Valley State, and somehow we came in there and upset you guys by one. We needed that victory really bad. Didn't want to have to bring that up on the show, but I thought it was just relevant because that was the last time that I saw you.
Well, listen, it's always great to see you, even on days like that. I think and I'm not taking away from your victory, but we were really beat up. But
yes, you were.
we were missing, I think, about 7 or 8, which is, look, you still got to take care of business, and you did, and great job. But good to see you again.
Good to see you too. And well, I'll just leave that alone. But anyway,
you
good.
Better.
Hey, you won more games than I did. We did. Also, welcome to the show here. I think this is correct. This is my first time meeting her, but this is the one and only. If I'm correct, I'm like the great, the legend, Muriel Page from Mississippi State. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. It's just definitely great to meet your acquaintance today, because this is the first time I've actually spoken to you, and so it's definitely a blessing. I usually I know Coach Corey Irvin on your staff from her husband. We've known each other for close to 25 years, so obviously, I don't want to belabor the time. When we have two Division I coaches of your stature, on, I want to get right to the announcement. Now, again, I apologize for the background noise. My oldest daughter and her husband and our grandbaby Trey is over to the house, and they're acting like I'm not doing anything in my office. So they're talking in the background. All my family's here. So this is how we do it on Talking Hoops in the Sip. We have a lot going on. Eddie sometimes is just coming out of the jungle. He feeds at night. I don't know how he got off from feeding. Like usually, Eddie, you go to the jungle around 7? Like, do you try to come out the jungle in dark, or how do you do it? Like, what's your?
Well, actually, whenever you ain't in, that's when I'm in there. I just don't want to be around you. That's the biggest thing. As long as I ain't around you, I'm good.
Okay. Something's wrong with your screen because it's cutting off part of your head. And I know that your head is bigger than what I'm seeing right now. But anyway, we didn't talk about Ed's head. So here's the thing. we have a major announcement, and I just want to share this real quick because this is so powerful to me. Some of you guys know that some of you know I'm actually in the ministry along with being coaching for over 30 years. And there's one thing that is very important to not only myself, but to God himself. It's about unity. It's about oneness. And the one thing that when I came to Mississippi back in 2016, and got a chance to be around a lot of the sports, because I've always stayed in sports. I worked at Jackson State Millsaps College, this previous year at Mississippi Valley. And so I'm always around kids. And I got a chance to meet this bald head guy over here, Eddie Young, a couple years ago. I met him at a game. I recognized, one of the things about me and my profession, I find out who's who. And so he looked awkward, but I realized he was important. I said, man, that's a big-headed dude right there, but something's about him. I got a chance to talk to him, and we talked, and from then we developed a relationship. And so we've been talking for years. I recognize he's the guy as far as in girls sports. I had been on the boys side for many years. For all my years, most of my coaches have been on the boys side, although I coached high school girls a long time ago. And then I got a chance to meet a young man, Cordarius Jones. He came to Eddie's tournament, had a very good, talented team with some very good players. And I said, man, that's a good young guy. I like to mentor. I like to help. Talk to him. And then we began talking for a year. And because, me with the experience that I have, part of my job is giving back and helping young coaches. And Eddie, even though I'm about 10 years old, and even though Eddie is really accomplished, he allowed me to kind of help and mentor him. And I've learned a lot from Eddie as well. And then I met this other young guy, Gabe Barber. I got two kids older than Gabe. And I met him and I said, man, this young cat got some things going on. And I said, man, I like to mentor him, and he allowed me to. So fast forward to where we are today. These three men actually are club directors of three of the four top AAU organizations in our state. And I've done AAU for many, many years. When I was in Indiana, we were sponsored by Reebok, Sonny Vaccaro, and we did it for a long time. We've had pros, we've been all over the world. And I was just able to share my experiences with these guys. And I kept saying, man, y'all got to come together. Y'all got to come together. Mississippi is not big enough for all these different programs. If we come together, if you guys come together, we can do something that no other state in America has done. If all the top guys, and to be honest with you, I want to be fair and I want to be accurate, I shared this vision with all four of our AU organizations in the state. These three have decided, they allowed me to, talk to them, and man, we went back and forth. I said, hey man, let's put something together. Y'all come together. And so we had to fight through different things, Cord and Eddie and then Gabe, not even Gabe so much, but Cord and Eddie, they big rivals. Cord's a former player, Eddie's a former player. Cord, big time, scored 2,000 points in high school and college. Eddie's street ball legend in Natchez. He can play though. Like the dude can play. He played in high school or whatever. I actually saw him play one time. I was like, man, this big dude can play, because I'm a big dude too, but he's a short big dude. And he was crossing, hey, Coach Page, he crossed somebody over and hezzied him, laid him. And I was like, oh my God, this dude can play. And his head was still on his head attached when he made the layup. So at the end of the day, I was like, man, these cats are special dudes. And I said, hey man, we don't need to be arguing on social media and different things like that. And man, they began to work out the little differences because it wasn't that big of a deal. They're competitive. They're and I said, man, let's get this thing together. And so the last 2 years, basically, we've been talking about it. And today, we are proud to announce, this is a touching moment for me, that the Mississippi Bobcats, the DC Bucks, the Mississippi Bobcats led by Eddie Young, The DC Bucks, led by Cordarius Jones and Gabe Barber, the Community Save AU organization, led by Gabe Barber, has come together to form Mississippi All In. Mississippi All In. We all win when we all in. Boy, like y'all should be typing amen right there. We all win when we all in. And so this is a monumental occasion. And I just want to turn it over and let Eddie share his, as him being the veteran. Just let me share how this is kind of going to go down. I'm kind of like an advisor.
Hey, you shut up. Hey, shut up. You talked enough. You over your time now.
Okay, we'll let you go ahead, Eddie.
Go ahead. Just shut your mouth up. First of all, let me just say to the great Brooks Williams, who is a dear friend of mine and I love so much. She was calling tonight to talk to one of our kids, and she's just been an anchor to our program. And I love this lady so much. Beyond basketball brought us together, but she's a lifelong friend, and I just respect what she's doing. Met her when she was at the University of Alabama as recruit coordinator. She was recruiting a kid in my program, and our spirits connected. So let me just say, because you want to talk about your resume, which you left off, you're the #1 buffet eater in the country right now. You left that off your resume. You want to talk about everything else you do. But we got the great Brooks Williams here and my dear friend, Coach Muriel Page, who is Mississippi born and bred, one of the greatest basketball players to ever walk in the state of this Mississippi. And what we're doing is really, really important because a lot of the girls wouldn't have the opportunity had we not have a legend like her. And I think she's going to be inducted into the Mystics Hall of Fame for the WNBA. All of you girls that are listening on right now, do your homework, because if you don't know about Muriel Page and what she meant to the game of basketball and the type of person, and she don't even know this, just some of the articles that I'm reading about her. I know we've had several conversations. She's beginning to be one of my favorites too, just because of the type of person she is and what she stands for. And everybody's had nothing but great things to say about them. So I just want to say, before I say anything about what we're doing, I am elated that I sent out a text, and 5 minutes later, these remarkable women who could be doing anything else took out the time to see this as being important. And I can't tell you how much I speak on behalf of Gabe, Cord, Evie. We really appreciate y'all taking out the time to do this. So I do want to say this, Coach Brooke, and I know you guys have been really, really recruiting our program pretty heavy. How important is it for you when you're out recruiting? Because what a lot of people don't know is that you guys have a strict budget when it comes to being able to recruit. You're trying to, I know this in Arkansas, you can kind of touch on how you guys had to orchestrate flights. And I know you were at one tournament, and I think just got you into Arkansas, and just a lot of people don't know. Like, I think they think you guys are a D1 and you just, you got thousands of dollars to travel. And why is it important? Why do you think it's important that programs come together? Because to me, do you think and it's a two-part question, is AAU becoming watered down? As we talk about on the Talking Hoops in the SIP, we've talked about how, like the Baptist Church, there's starting to be AAU programs on every corner. I mean, just they're popping up everywhere. So why do you think it's important? And how does it benefit you guys for moves like we're making?
Well, Eddie, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate all your words. And, you are very special to the state of Mississippi and to all of us that coach in college. And, I think the access that we have, to the players and being able to get on phone calls and all those things have been very, very special for not just me, but, for all of the regional coaches. And you guys making the effort to get them on campus and for us to know what's going on in your programs, all of you. I mean, it's been really important. in our recruiting and the future for those young ladies. So I thank you for that. And Coach Jones and Coach Barber, no question about it. But, to answer your question, I think we were like, just an example for this last weekend, we were spread so thin, with only 3 or 4 coaches on the road. And, you got to understand that sometimes we're not able to have all 4 people out because we may have things going on campus with our players, so it may just be 3, it may be 4, but there were too many tournaments and not enough, people to cover them. And, it's really important, for young ladies to get recruited, that we have a really good eval of them. And, and you're exactly right. You knew my schedule, and mine is just one example of everyone else's. I saw Coach Page shaking her head because even though we don't have the means that she does, she still probably had trouble going to see everybody that she wanted to see, in one weekend's time. And so to answer your question, it just makes so much sense, for you guys, and gosh, I wish more people would lead the charge like you're leading it tonight, to combine. And that way it gives us an opportunity to have the best players, from all your from the state of Mississippi on one team together, in one organization together. And we're not spread as thin going to try to catch Coach Barber and them, and catch, you guys, Coach Eddie, and, and so on and so on. And just think, you're just one state, and so if we're having to make decisions, we usually make decisions on who has the most people at one tournament. And that's tough. People get left out. And I think what you guys are doing, the leadership that you have going on right now, is you're trying to make sure that your student athletes are getting recruited in the best possible sense with the best players around them. And that is incredible. So I hope I answered all your questions. I think I did.
You did, Coach. Listen, Coach Brooks Williams, the head coach at ULM. We got Coach Page, Muriel Page, who is the assistant coach at Mississippi State, which is a new staff. Most of y'all have been kind of seeing them make headways. When I talked to Coach Page, and let me just say this, I have the utmost respect for her because she did something. I've been doing this for 15 years. She did something that I don't think any coach has ever done, because we get a lot of broken promises as AAU guys. I know Cordarius, Gabe, not just here, but across the board. Hey, Coach, we're going to come see you in July. Hey, Coach. And sometimes we do understand that certain things come up where you guys get our schedule, and we understand life happened. But to be integral enough to take out the time to call me, Coach Page called me, and she said, hey, Coach, listen, we thought we were going to be in Arkansas. Some things came up, but I promise you we're going to come out to July. And no other coach has never done that in 15 years on the boys or girls side. So, man, that was really, really rewarding for me. So, Coach Page, I know we also talked about how you guys' strategy in terms of why you guys went to Capital Cool, and obviously some of the top kids that you're recruiting, why your strategy was that. Can you kind of talk to us on how that can change from one tournament to the next, and why you thought it was important to at least let us know, hey, look, Coach, we ain't forgot about you. We still about prioritizing the Mississippi kids.
Coach, I want to say, to begin with, just thank you for all your kind words and say hello to everyone. Being that Coach Eddie was my first call when I actually got the job at Mississippi State, I called a friend of mine, Brian Adams. I don't know if you all know him, and was like, hey, I need to get in touch with the main guy in Mississippi that can connect me with everyone in the AAU programs. Because being from Mississippi and being at Mississippi State, I wanted to make sure that all the young women and all the AAU coaches knew that the players in Mississippi were important to us. And that was a part of our strategy. Like, we wanted to come to Arkansas, and it unfortunately it didn't work out. But being a new staff, as we all know in this call, there's a very important young lady in the state of Mississippi that, we would love to keep at home. So a part of that decision making was going and watching, the older players play it from the state of Mississippi, and just trying to, keep players at home. And I had given him my word, and my word is all I have. And I always live by my word. My mom always told me if I told someone something that I have to live up to my word. So I had told Coach that we were coming to Arkansas. And the minute we made the decision not to come to Arkansas, I got on the phone with him and I wanted him to know that we would not be there, because I did not want him looking for us. And I did not want him to call me and say, Coach Page, you said Mississippi was important and I didn't see you. Because Mississippi is very important, and being a product of Mississippi, I know how important it is to be seen by, the schools in your home state. So that's why it meant everything to me, Coach Eddie, to actually reach back out to you and let you know that we weren't going to be there.
I appreciate that. Cord or Gabe, did you guys have any questions for Coach Page and Coach Brooks?
But can I just say one more thing? I just want all of you to know, like I told Coach Eddie, in July, you will see Mississippi State sitting on your court. We will be calling and talking to you all again. I know y'all have been talking to Coach Eddie and I've been talking. You've been talking to Coach Corey and Coach Kelby as well. We want Mississippi kids at Mississippi State. That is our #1 priority. It's not a doubt. It's not a second guess for us. We know that Mississippi is very important. And I love what you all are doing. When I was in high school, I didn't play AAU. I played with my high school. I didn't get the exposure that you all are giving these young ladies now. So I think that what you all are doing and coming together is awesome. And a lot of young ladies are they're gonna be rewarded from what you all are doing. So keep doing what you're doing, keep influencing the young women. And it's great to see coaches like you all, that you're working together and not working against each other. That goes a long way, that you all have come together and decided to do it together and not just continue to compete against each other.
That's important, Coach. And before Cord and Gabe jump in, one thing that we always say is people always say we want honesty and and then when you give honesty, sometimes people have issues with it. But Brooks offered a kid who is a phenom in my program. I know we can't specifically talk about that particular kid. And one of the things that I like about Coach Brooks is that, as much as she loves me, our relationship has always been built on honesty. There's been kids that she's liked that I didn't like. And I told her, I say, Coach, I'm not going to endorse her now. Trust your eyes, but Eddie eyes, I ain't endorsing her. So a kid she offered when she was young. And I know for you guys, Brooke, when you offer a kid in 8th grade, each time you see her, you want to see improvement. You want to see a better kid 2 years down the road. Brooke, why is it important for you guys? And what are y'all looking at on the college level? Because here's the thing, Coach Page, that I'm going to lean on you for, and I've been leaning on Brooks for years. What are you guys looking at? Like, how important is it because I know the one thing that Brooks said is body language was so important when she was evaluating kids. Like, can you guys talk, I'll start with you, Brooks, and then maybe Paige, talk about how the offers, and a lot of kids don't know this, when you give out offers, they're what they were, but what they are, but you can lose that offer just as quick as you got it. What are some of your pet peeves, and just kind of talk about the landscape of recruiting?
Yeah. And first of all, Coach, can I just say this? I'm a Mississippi State alum. So listening to Coach Page talk about, their vision and covering the state, and it gets me fired up as well. Just like you guys are coming together tonight, we have to root for each other some too. And a great deal, really. And so that's what's hard to do when we're all competing. But boy, it just gave me chills as an alum of Mississippi State, not only to have one of the best players to ever play in the state of Mississippi coaching there now, but also, to just hear her passion and fire for what you guys are doing. So anyway, what we do look for, Eddie, and, just piggybacking on what we're all talking about, is character. A lot of times, like, how does a kid respond, and how are they responding to your coaching? How are they responding to challenges? Even young, even really young, because, you see a kid that steps up for a challenge and, maybe doesn't have success. We see, what our parents are doing in the stands sometimes. I can tell you, we can mark some kids off a list if parents are hurting their kid, and because a lot of times that doesn't change, at our level. And it's so important to have support in the right village around you. And so not always the case, but sometimes the case, right? So we look for that body language that you're talking about. That's the character piece. Like, how are people respond? How's the player responding to whatever's coming their way? A coach fussing at them a little bit, getting into them, trying to motivate them, or having success or not, and how are they responding to that? A lot of times, so much talent out there. Sometimes it's those extra things that matter the most. And look, I coached at Alabama. I went to Mississippi State. So it's not just a lower level. That's on every level. That's in the WNBA right now. So I just talked to Coach Sides. Atlanta Dream won big tonight. She was on our staff the last couple of years, and Coach Page knows this. It doesn't matter what level. That body language, that demeanor, those intangibles, the work ethic, if you're walking up and down the court, those types of things, really put you, over the edge in recruiting. And so I hope that answered your question. But yes, I mean, we have offered some young players, because they have something special, and then you watch them grow. And, it's unfortunate, but sometimes, they don't grow. They either lose interest, they get caught in the wrong programs, and maybe not a fit for them, those kinds of things, or you watch them thrive and get better and better and better. And that's what's really exciting.
Coach Page, did you want to jump? You add anything to that?
I would like to say hi, Coach Williams. I didn't know you were an alum of Mississippi State, so I'm gonna have to get your number so we can talk. But it's always great to meet alums from the universities where you work. But no, I echo everything she says. I mean, I tell kids all the time, your body language, it can either get you a scholarship or lose you a scholarship. Because that is something that is very important these days that a lot of kids aren't very aware of. Whenever I'm at the game, I'm always looking and trying to see how those kids respond to their coaches. How, what's their body language when their coaches take them out of the game? Are they hitting everyone's hand on the bench? Are they sitting on the bench cheering for their teammates? Or they're sitting there and they're just like, whoa, it's me. I want to have fun with the kids I'm coaching. I want to know that they're going to give me the same energy on and off the bench. And then if they're inconsistent or they're giving 100% on the offensive end and not giving the same energy on the defensive end, I want to see consistency all the time, not taking plays off, but just being consistent as much as you can. I mean, I know you're not going to be able to play hard the whole game, but just trying to see what that consistency is, see where your mode is, see where your motivation is, and see who like to do the little things. I was a player who made my name off doing the little things, rebounding, defending players, running the floor. So I want to see what players want to do the little things, and those players that aren't looking to just score 30 points, because if you're scoring 30 and giving up 31, then you're not winning the game. So I look at those things as well when I'm there looking at players.
That's awesome. Gabe, Corey, did y'all have anything real quick that you want to share?
I definitely want to say thanks for being on. I know we have a lot of young ladies that are definitely tuning in, listening. To have you guys pretty much echo what I know myself, Cord, Eddie Young, and EB in the past have all said. Sometimes I think it kind of goes in one ear and out the other, as if they don't trust that, our words that they hold weight. So to hear some top dogs kind of, echo what we say, I hope that, the young ladies that are listening, that they take heed to this. Again, we're coming together to try to fight for our state, fight for some of the kids in our communities to help give them better opportunities. The kids that you watch growing up, I can say for myself, definitely kids that I've seen since they were, young kids. Now to see the potential that they have, I want what's best for them. So I think this is really a great opportunity that we're trying to do. So for you guys to be on here, all the young ladies that are watching, please take heed to this, take notes on this, and don't just, it's not cliches. These are not cliches that y'all hear. These are actual coaches that are actually looking for these things when they go out recruiting. I tell my kids all the time, scoring 30 isn't impressive. If you can play, they know that, right? It's all about the little things that they don't take pride in. And I can say this era, it definitely has its kinks to it. It has its good and its bad, but I don't want us to get so caught up in the things that really don't matter and that we miss out on, the little things that actually will help get us, recruited. So I think what we're doing is really good. I'm interested. I'm excited. I hope that, you guys kind of stay supportive with us. And just thanks for being on again.
Corey, did you have anything?
Gabe basically nailed all the questions. So I'm just excited about the opportunity to work together. I know it's been a long road, and I'm just able to put my pride to the side and give these girls opportunity because it's coaches that I'm connected with, that Eddie's connected with, that and Gabe connected with, and I think we can just bring all the relationship together and help everybody as a whole. So that's what I'm big.
Yeah, that's really important. Is again, coming together, oneness. Is critical. There's things that at the end of the day, as I was sharing with the guys and sharing, and again, these guys, I just want to go at this point because people are asking a few questions on live chat. I want to just go through the structure of it real quick. These obviously are the three directors and how it will be done. And if anybody want to ask them any more questions, that's fine. There's going to be, it's broken up into three regions. Cordarius Jones will be over the North region, and it's the name of the whole organization is Mississippi All In, and so up north, Court will run up north. So we'll have the state divided in three parts. Eddie will do the central, and then Gabe will handle the Gulf Coast. Eddie, because of his tenure, his leadership, is the leader of the organization. My role is I'm in the media and I'm an advisor to the group, but it is going to be Eddie, Cordarius, and Gabe. As I say, leaders among leaders. See, that's the thing. People always talk about you got to just, man, it's got to be one person. It's got to be that. It's got to be that. No, that is the wrong. We're changing the paradigm. It's a paradigm shift. There are leaders among leaders. Well, obviously, Eddie has the experience. So there's going to be some decisions that they're going to make all these together, but Eddie's the quote unquote leader, but it's not going to be a thing. This is not a dictatorship. So we can get that out of the way. And these guys can speak on that as well, but each one's going to have a region. We're going to have some, now we go where now 30 teams are all under one roof. And what that does is, so I can share with people, that gives the state and us more leverage. Now, when we talk about shoe deals, now when we talk about going to tournaments and different things like that, we have the product. Let's not try to trick each other. The top players can stay in the state because we have the Muriel Page, because we have the Brooke Williams and all of that, and the endorsements and people, because this is something that is not being done anywhere in the country. Mississippi has been known for being at the bottom of the barrel, and tonight becoming Mississippi All In under one roof is a game changer. It puts us at the top of the food chart, and there's going to be a lot of. We already know I say we because I feel like this is my baby, but this is a God thing, and this is something that I truly believe is God ordained. And there's going to be a lot of naysayers, and we understand that. But if we really come together and do this thing and stay positive, there's nothing that we can't do. And it's not going to be as hard as people think. It really isn't. And so I'm excited about it. But again, I'd like so now people can have understanding of the roles. Court's going to continue to operate just like he operates now. Gabe is going to continue to operate his situation just like he operates now. Eddie's going to continue to operate just like he operates now. We've just broken the states up. And what we're going to begin to do is we're going to begin to form some elite teams where we will gather in each class some of the top players in each class to form those elite teams, because let's not try to trick ourselves. We don't have 50 kids in this state that's going to play at Mississippi State or 50 kids that's going to play at ULM. We're going to try to help every kid, whether they can play at Mississippi State, which is the top of the food chain, ULM, William Carey, Coahoma Community College, Mississippi Delta, Jones Community College, Clinton Christian College. I mean, we're trying to help as many kids as possible. And then the other thing that we're trying to do is get kids an opportunity to play competitive basketball. One of the things I can say, I see we have another dog on the show. I'm excited. Did you see my dog? Did you see my daughter's dog earlier? Did you see it?
No, but he wouldn't let me sit here, so I had to just let him join now.
May bring the dog back in. We got a dog on here quickly. Bring the dog. We got another dog. We got to put the dog on. See, we just do stuff like that. And also today's snack of the day, Snack got this from me. This is, I always have a snack, but I got Rice Krispie treat. And here's the thing. Here is the dog. You see, I got one too. I don't know what this thing. I mean, it's a what? Toy poodle. What you got?
This is a golden doodle. His name is Coco.
A golden doodle. See, like you see, like this is now Eddie. Now see, he's getting nervous because Eddie usually eats little. Eddie, stop it, Eddie. Stop salivating. Stop, Eddie. Stop it right now. What you trying to do? You ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. You got these coaches up here. You acting up like that. You we hear you, man. Your thing ain't muted. But anyway, so but no, this is an awesome opportunity for us, like, and I think it's going to be big where now, like you said, so when we come in June, and this is going to start, so people know this will begin next year. And you may say, why are we announcing it so early? Well, we want to get everybody in the mindset early, because see, and when you talk about, funding, different things like that, we wanted to be ahead of the game. We wanted to put this out right now before the July period comes, which is the live period. But in the future, it's going to be a thing. Now, Coach Page, Coach Williams, now in the surrounding states that come to watch us play, now they'll be able to be right there. It's not going to be a question. Where is everybody at? You ain't got to go here. You ain't got to go there. And I think this is something that we have to start to think about too. And we started to think about this. The landscape has changed. And I want y'all to just, me coaching Division I on the women's side this past year, I'm no longer at Mississippi Valley State. I had made that announcement, but I'm making it now. So we got another announcement. So I'm going back full time in my, into my media, into my ministry, and this is a part of it. But the landscape has changed. And real quick, Coach Williams and Coach Pate, talk about that with the transfer portal. And I'll share you what my thought was going to be. If I was at Valley this year in the 23 class, this is what I was going to do. And then I want you to talk about how, if you guys are along the same line, or you thinking maybe even differently. But for me, what I had done in the 23 class, what I was going to do is I'd offered several kids, and I was going to really hone in on maybe 2 high school kids. And I was going to tell them, listen, I've offered you, but if you don't commit early, I'm going to go, you got this opportunity in early period. If you don't sign early, you won't have this late, because then I'm going to the transfer portal and I'm going to go with the JUCOs depending on my year. Now that was my thinking. I'm kind of different the guy, but talk to us about a little bit, and we'll start with you, Coach Page, how you feel that the transfer portal and the landscape of recruiting has changed, especially when it comes to high school students.
I think it actually depends on the university, the school itself. I know for us coming into Mississippi State, we got there and it was 7 players on the roster. So we immediately went into the transfer portal because there really wasn't too many 2022s that were still available that we felt like could come in and have that could help us at state our first year. I think moving forward, we would still pay attention to the transfer portal, but you also want to have kids that come in that know your system, that's there, because getting those kids that's coming in for 1 year, there's no consistency. So you want to continue to really work hard and recruit those high school players, because you're going to need that foundation, that base, that's someone to continue to be in the locker room and basically be the voices of the coaches in the locker room. Someone that's been there that knows, what Coach Sam likes and what we're our expectations. But the portal, when you get midway through the season and you have players transfer, then yeah, you're gonna look at the portal. You're gonna keep an eye on it, of course, to see who's transferring, who's there, who can help you. If you have relationships with those players that you probably recruited before when they were, trying to decide where they wanted to go to school. But I really think I'm not sure how we're gonna use it that much moving forward. We will still use it. I'm not gonna say we're not, but I know that there are some universities that aren't using the portal. They want to continue to recruit high school players and players from junior colleges and not just wait and see who's going to enter the portal.
Well, and look, E, I think you're exactly right. I think everybody's, Coach Page said this, everybody's doing things differently. I think, like this past year, we had, 2 really young classes that were playing against 5th and 6th and some 7-year players. You got to think about that, and so I think, some other folks were probably in a similar boat. And so then it leans them towards going to the portal, and you can get some, it's a quick fix is what it is when you're going into the portal. And I wholeheartedly agree with Coach Page. We have the mindset where we still love to develop. We love to develop players and teach, and that's just something that our staff is taking a lot of pride in. And so we won't steer away from continuing to recruit high school players. However, I think that's rare. I think it's rare right now. Right now it's a fad to be in the portal, in my opinion, and, one person jumps in, everybody wants to jump in. And then, a lot of coaches are recruiting it. It's going to be interesting moving forward to see how that's sustained. And, so I think everybody's all over the map, which still is affecting high school players. No question. People are leaning towards junior college players a little bit more right now because, some of the bigger guys aren't taking those guys. They're taking portal kids, so it trickles on down, and everybody is so different in how they recruit. But I do think E is right. There are a lot of folks leaning towards the portal, and it greatly affects high school players. And, I think Eddie said something earlier about, he asked, did I think AAU or club summer teams, or, if it's watered down, and I think, there is a lot of truth to that. Too many teams and too many tournaments waters it down. And, and that's also going to lean people towards going to the portal because they don't see people compete against the best competition, where you could maybe lean towards a high school kid, if you see them in that light. And so that's another positive of what you guys are doing, and so, that's kind of all over the map, but I think it is all over the map right now.
Yeah, we're in a time, to be honest with you. There's no the blueprint is still being made, for this, because it's not like some people have had some success just portal, and then there's some, it's hard. I will say this: it's a lot harder though to build your team, just strictly from high school kids at this stage where it is right now, because you have it's just it's like you said. I think you hit it on the head, Coach. It's just all over the place. There is no, and that's hard when you don't, you don't have when you're creating the blueprint, as we speak, because when is this portal thing going to end, and all of that. So again, we appreciate, you guys, as we get ready to wrap it up, because it was a late night recap and we wanted to make this announcement, and we definitely appreciate you guys taking the time. It speaks volumes that you would come on a night like tonight to be just in support, and people across the state can see this. So I want you guys just hang on with us. I want to give Gabe and Cord an opportunity, and Eddie will speak to it as far as anything that you guys want to say as far as the coming together, and something that you want to give a shout out, as far as about that. We call it, as a matter of fact, we'll just transition into what we call our last geek of the night. And so we'll start with Gabe, then we'll go with Cord, and then we'll go with you, Coach Page, and Coach Brooke. When the last geek of the night means you can talk about whatever you want. So you can talk about ULM, you can talk about say hello to your mom. We've already seen the dog. I mean, so we can say whatever. So we're gonna let you in on it, and then we'll have Eddie. Will close us out, and then I will just say good night, pretty much. So go ahead.
The true reason why he's closing this show up has nothing to do with it being late at night. Everybody's ready to go eat some food. I mean, he's got some late night snacks. He want to get to that Rice Krispie treat. Now what he showed us was one. He got about 5 or 6 in his shirt pockets all everywhere. So that's what he's really trying to do. Go ahead, Gabe.
Go ahead, Gabe.
All right. I definitely want to say, man, it's some knowledge on here. Having 2 major coaches on this call. Again, I'm directing this to all the young ladies that are watching. We're trying our best to create the platform to make it easy for you guys, but in return, work on your games, ladies. I can tell you right now, y'all see what y'all are up against. I could speak for my region for sure, and I'm sure Eddie and Cord can speak for theirs. But I know some of our major players and even some of our other ones, they do get comfortable. They get relaxed. They think, they get a few phone calls, they get a few letters, they get, a few interests, and they kind of take a step back, not realizing what they're up against, not realizing how big the state, the country is when it comes to recruiting. I hope that these girls, when we're going to these live peers, they really do see how many kids are competing for the same offers. So I definitely want to speak for the state of Mississippi, for all of our kids. Do your part. Make sure you're getting in the gym. Make sure you're handling your business, because once you're here, I can't promise that these coaches will want to take chance after chance after chance on you being a 17, 18-year-old coming out of high school. So definitely make sure that you take the accountability to continue working on your game. So that way, once these coaches see you, it's going to be that I have to get her. I have to do whatever I can to get her. And that's the mentality you want to have while you're putting your effort, committing your life to this, to make it to the next level. Don't just dream about it, but make sure that you're taking the initiative to do what you got to do to make these coaches get you to their schools.
I just see while we were on here the Boston Celtics, before you get on court. The Boston Celtics won game 7 tonight. So, man, shout out to Jason Tatum and all them. So, okay, cool. Anyway, Cordarius.
I just want to. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I think what we're doing, we're coming together. It's really not. It's not really not complicated as people trying to put it. We just trying to come together, put the elite players together, and put our egos to the side. That shouldn't never be there. I want what's best for the Mississippi kid. Coming in into this, bringing a program from like the ground level of practicing with kids in the driveway to what it is now. Like, I'm really passionate about it. Never really made a dime doing this AAU stuff. So I'm all about the kids getting offers and getting the looks that they deserve. If they're a good kid, they should be getting the recognition they deserve, in my opinion. So if you're a kid from Mississippi, let's stop running to other states and thinking you're gonna get any better, because we finna make this first class right here, and it's just what it is. And I'm ready to work and just ready to work with you guys. So that's just what I gotta say.
Coach Page, your last geek of the night.
I would just like to just say I think it's great what you all are doing. Thank you for inviting me on the show tonight. I'm so excited about being in Mississippi State. Can't wait to see all the talent that you all are going to put back on the court in July. And everyone that's listening tonight, go and follow me on social media. I was gonna go get a sheet of paper and put it up, but my handle is Coach Pagina, which is Coach Page in Spanish, because I played professional basketball in Spain for 8 years. And it is CoachPagina. Most people think it's Coach Pagina, but it's Pagina. And Hail State, and we want to see all of y'all in the stadium this year. And come back, we're going to have the hump running.
It's tough to follow that, E. I mean, she's saying Hell State, and that actually gets me fired up too. So Hell State and go Warhawks. Now, you know what, guys? One of the reasons that I took the job at ULM is because I spent, half of my life in Mississippi, and it was the perfect job because I'm on the border. And, and it's, gosh, it's so exciting, all the connections and friends and great people. And look at this room right now. Well, it's not a room, sorry, but all the screens, everybody's screen. Look at the leadership right now in Mississippi. I've always felt that Mississippi was really special. There's a lot of good talent, but this is what you guys are doing is really incredible. It takes great leaders to do something different, and change. And you guys are doing a phenomenal thing for the state. And, really it's not benefiting, Gabe or Eddie or Corey or E. It's about the kids. And that's what I love most about seeing and hearing from everybody is when you're doing right by the young people, then we're all doing right. And, hats off to you guys for leading the way. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you for growing the game.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate that, Coach. He normally gives everybody an introduction, but I just kind of take over his show every now and then. But
man, anyway. You were late. I already introduced him. You reintroduced. See, you don't be paying attention. I'd already done that.
I'm saying introducing me. But anyway, again, thank you guys for coming on in such a short notice and everything. Again, like I said, if I didn't like the two of you guys, now I love y'all even more. I appreciate the partnership that I have with Gabe, as well as the partnership that I have with the friendship with Cordarius over the past couple of years. We got off to a rocky start, but God, I just say that. And so now, like he said, putting egos aside and prioritizing these babies in our state trumps everything, really, to be honest with you. So, Big Head had a vision. He stuck to it. And what people don't understand, I know him and I go back and forth a lot, but Gabe was out and in. Cole was out and in with this thing. I've been out, in. And I think timing is so important to anything, I got my beautiful wife just at the right time. I wouldn't have had her had it not been for timing. So I think that timing is so important. And so I think it's right now. I think this is our time. I really do. I think we're really finna take off. We got the right people with the right vision who share the same values and the same standards. And so I just ask every parent, because I've got about 150. I know my phone is about to blow up. Like, Coach, what are we doing? To just trust our discernment and trust our leadership. I think that this is going to be a great move, not just for the next 5 years, but something that's going to be monumental for the next 10 or 15 years And as we become pioneers in this thing, I think that it's going to be so beneficial for everything. And so it's new. Coach Brooks took over head coaching job at ULM several years ago, and just starting anything new is tough. Coach Page and new staff, and with Coach Sam at Mississippi State, and it just takes time. So we just ask that everybody be patient as we try to go through this thing. And Rome wasn't built in a night, but we will get there because our hearts are in the right place. So that's my last geek, and I just pray that everything goes well in this decision. You guys, parents and kids, y'all trust what we're doing, because we've, like I said, we've talked to a lot of college coaches, and everybody feels that this is something that is going to benefit us long term. So that's my last geek.
I just want to say, again, thanks again for everybody coming on, Coach Williams, Coach Page. Thanks for everybody listening in, and for those parents of all three organizations, there will be an informational Zoom call. You can have many questions as you want. I know, again, you're going to have different people say different things. The Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue. So we're going to speak life, over this Mississippi All In, and we're just excited about it. And I just look forward to seeing what God does in the future. So for Muriel Page, Brooke Williams, Gabe Barber, Kadarius Jones, the easy one, Eddie Young, I'm Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, saying good evening, good night. You guys make it a great day. Thank you.